All right, everybody, welcome back to the program. Bienvenidos. I have yet another exciting installment of let's change a set of perfectly good tuners. Because we can. Now, if I'm honest, I don't think this is, by the way, you guys, if you follow the channel, have all just seen that guitar. This is Ricardo's new 2015. Yeah, so this is Ricardo's new 2015 American Standard Strat. And it has the American Standard stagger tuner, so you can see that the first four tuners are just slightly shorter than the A and the E. And that's just to compensate for the angle, that the break angle of the strings, so that they don't have to put in too many more string trees. Anyway, that's why you normally only see one string tree on an American Standard. So, I have to be honest, I don't think neither Richard or I would go probably running out to try and find these tuners for this guitar, but he just happened upon them in a guitar shop. Somebody, I guess, had ordered them and never came to pick them up. And the price of these, I mean, you can't beat that. That's pretty cheap for a set of tuners. So, that being said, he was like, well, screw it. I'll just get a set of these because it's not too much money. And they are really great. Like, having locking tuners is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with these. It's not like they keep tune any better or any worse. I would say the only improvement is going to be the fact that these lock. So, and they look really cool. If you're going to get the Fender ones, you got to get the ones with the, I mean, I think that's probably 50% of the reason he bought those, because they look cool. But at this point, you know, it's an upgrade for the sake of upgrading. However, if you were a touring, gigging musician, you know, I'm not the only guy to tell you that this makes string changes way faster, way easier, it's more stable. So anyway, it's a good upgrade, but in this case, we really are just doing it because we can. And it's interesting to see, so I thought I'd film it and show y'all. Alright, so normally at this point I would skip this part of it. But this is one of the things that you avoid with locking tuners, is having to put like 20 wraps on your strings. And having to either unwind this with your hand, or like I do with one of these little tools, which is always so loud in the videos. But yeah, this is one of the things that you avoid with locking tuners. Now this is still pretty fast. Like I can get these off pretty fast using one of these, but we're splitting hairs at this point. So anyway, I'll bring you back when all the strings are off. Alright, so the thing that's really nice about these Fender tuners is how easy they are to take on and off. They don't have any screws, so it's just 10 millimeter wrench. Loosen them off. Take the washer off. And out they come. It's that easy. If you've never seen Fender tuners before, that's what they look like from the back side. They have these two little locating pins, and they locate right here in the back of the headstock. So we'll get the rest of these off, and this is literally an upgrade you can do in 5 minutes longer than it takes you to do a string change. This is, if you get the right tuners, if you get Fender replacement tuners, and the reason I would suggest going with, there are better tuners, there are better quality tuners, I won't argue that. But the reason I suggest going with, in this case, Fender replacement tuners is resale value. Now I realize not everyone is going to want to resell their guitar, but you never know. And if you put like Spurzells or Grovers or something else where you have to drill another hole where there wasn't one, then it's just an eyesore right away for somebody looking at buying your guitar used. They're going to say, oh, that was changed. So with something like this, you're not going to devalue the guitar in any way. And because this modification is reversible, meaning you could go back to the original parts if you wanted, then it's even safer to do. But the minute you start drilling holes or doing stuff like that, then you're permanently devaluing your guitar. And I'm not the only one now. I'm starting to hear more and more people talk about this. I used to be a bit hesitant to talk about this, but I see I'm not the only one. You even hear Captain and Chappers talking about resale value. In fact, he was just talking about that in his video. So you can see there, just installs really easily, just like the original. Same two locating pins. And just presses in really, really easily. And you can see that these two are a little lower. Oh, for Christ's sake, come on. So we'll just keep that going there like that. That's not gonna be... Is that right? No. That's gonna be over here. That's too tall. There we go. And you see two of these have a different head, which means those are the taller ones. So you see one of them is sort of squared off and the other one is... So the squared off ones are the short ones. And those they're like the standard tuners. Okay, that's fine. And so to complete the installation, we just give them all a good tighten. Not too much, not too little. nice and tight. There we go. And it's just that easy to put the tuners that they put on all the deluxe guitars on your standard one for not much money. It's a good upgrade. And as a side bonus, the original tuners fit nicely in the box for the new ones. And away you go. You can store those, or you can resell them for somebody who maybe has a Mexi Strat, because a Mexi Strat, this would be an upgrade for a Mexi Strat, because these are staggered. Okay, there you go. Alright, so I'm just getting ready to string it up, so I'll just loosen all these off. It's not.